Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Josie and I am here to share my story about how I went from working a 9 to 5 accountant job, having a house and a husband, to being a world traveler, a solo female world traveler. So my story started in February. I basically had made the decision to quit my job and I was already under contract to sell my house. And I had just recently separated from my husband the August prior, and I was ready to embark on a journey unknown of how long through Europe, Southeast Asia, and then I had planned Australia and New Zealand, and still I did those things, just not in the order that I had originally planned. Um, Basically in February, I spent the month in Arizona with a friend, and I started preparing for my travels. And then in March, I had sold my house and I was home saying goodbye to everybody. And then starting April 3rd of 2017, I flew to Iceland and I began my trip through Europe. I went through the UK, Ireland, I went to Paris, Amsterdam, Brussels, Luxembourg, Vienna. I did day trips in Budapest and Bratislava. I went to Krakow. I was in Prague for a little bit. Then I decided that I wanted to go to Southeast Asia, so I made my way to London to fly out to Bangkok. And I spent time in Bangkok, Chiang Mai, in Phuket, and then I spent some time in the south of Vietnam with a friend that I had actually met along my travels back in London. His family hosted me, and it was such an amazing experience. Um, and then I had an obligation that I had made with a friend to meet in Greece, so I flew back to Europe, and I spent time in Athens and Santorini. And then I went to Italy. I was in Naples and then Rome, and I was pretty exhausted by this point. So I had made the decision to go back home. And before I ended up flying back home, I went back to London and I spent some time with friends that I had actually met there, and we did a road trip. Then I flew back home, and I was home for August and September, and um, that kind of life just really wasn't what I was ready for yet. I wasn't ready to get the real desk job again and just live in the suburbs and that kind of thing. I was not ready for that. I really still had that adventure in me. So I made a decision to travel a little differently, but I came to Chiang Mai, Thailand. On the way, I went to Hong Kong and Macau, and that was fun. But I basically made the purpose to come to Chiang Mai and focus on my spirituality, where I found this amazing school I'll talk about in further videos, Mahasiddha Yoga. They teach Tantra Yoga, and it's just amazing. And it had been life-changing in October. And I had already committed to going to Australia, which was amazing. So I went to Australia in November. And then I've actually recently just came back and I am volunteering now with the yoga school. And now I feel that since it's the end of the year, it's time to actually start reflecting on everything I've learned and how that can be applied to those of you that are stuck in a life that you're not happy with and you want to do something more, whether it is to travel, which I'm here to tell you it is totally possible no matter what you make. It is totally possible to work yourself up to that. Or whatever other dreams you might have, I'm here to give you that motivation and courage that whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve once you start focusing on it. So next week I will start with a topic of what my backpack looks like, what I've packed in it, how I sold everything in my house and I chose deliberately what I was packing with, and maybe a couple of the changes I've had over the last 11 months of living out of it, what went in and out and what worked and what didn't. So that will be the topic for next week. So if you're excited to hear my journey, just click subscribe and you'll be tuned in whenever I upload a video. So I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.